Yo ho, all hands, hoist the colors high. Heave ho, thieves and beggars, never shall we die.
Welcome to Book Time with Ryan. I am Ryan, and today we'll be talking about Mardi by Herman Melville. It's not the most exciting cover. For a long time I was accidentally calling this Madri, but it's Mardi, M-A-R-D-I, and the Voyage Thither. This is from 1849, and it is a fairly long book. This is the Northwestern Newberry edition, which I'm reading all of my Herman Melville books in now. And this was his third book. And it was really his first jump into some more serious writing. His first two books were Typee and Omu. Mardi was originally supposed to be something that picked up after Omu. But midway through writing it, he kind of switched it up. And it really is a book that's almost in two parts. The first part really does feel more like Typee or Omu, where they're just traveling around and experiencing pretty rough situations on a whaler. And it's supposed to pick up right where after he gets picked up at the end of Omu. I still don't know how to say it. They are whaling. Check out my cool hoodie. That's pretty cool. I hope you could. Just hit the desk. Hope you could see that. I am wearing rec specs. They came today, not the whole thing, but the whatever these things are called, temples. And now I can hopefully see when I'm playing sports, because I've never worn glasses when I've been playing hockey or soccer or cricket. And I'm hoping that this allows me to hit the puck or hit the ball better. And they're really comfortable. So I picked up a couple pieces because they didn't come with everything when I originally got it. And that's why you get to see it. I'm not going to wear these all the time, but I do like them. And they do have kind of a cool color. Our main character is unnamed for a lot of this. And this happens in two parts. The first part is our narrator is on a whaler, and they're having a bad time. They're not lucky. They're not getting lucky with the whaling, and they're going to head north. And he decides that he's going to abandon ship because this is not what he signed on for. And he tells the captain that, and the captain's just kind of like, okay, well, do it. And he finds somebody that he can do it with, which is a guy named Jarl. Sometimes he calls him the Viking. Jarl. So they jump on a boat. They get out. People thought that they had fallen overboard, or they were trying to recover someone that fell overboard, and they disappear. This is a time where it can be a little dangerous to be out on the seas, and they run into a boat that they're kind of worried about. Is it the whaler looking for them? Are they pirates? Are they cannibals? Whatever. Well, it's this boat that's kind of like a ghost ship. They get on it, and eventually they find two people. One of them dies pretty quickly. The other one's name is Samoa. And so Samoa, Jarl, and our narrator are together for a while. And they come up on another ship with a group and like a medicine man chief, and they are holding this woman who's going to be a sacrifice named Yala. And our narrator is really smitten. He wants to rescue her, so he eventually actually kills the chief. They get away. They actually kill other people. Their boat gets away, and they end up in this archipelago called Mardi. And specifically, they end up on an island called Odu. Or Odu. Odu. Obu? Odu. I think it's Odu. Where a king, who is considered demigod, named Medea, or Media, I think it's Medea, kind of takes him in, and because our narrator is white and they hadn't seen white people before, they think he's also demigod, and they think his name is Taji, which he assumes. And Samoa and Jarl the Viking are kind of like his attendants. And they're enjoying themselves, learning about the archipelago, and then all of a sudden, Yala goes missing. And Taji, I'm going to call him Taji from now on, he really wants to find her. So they go looking for her, and the king, Medea, says this is a great time for him to go on a tour of all the different islands of Mardi. Now, I get the feeling, this is never really spelled out, but I think that Mardi is just a collection of these different kingdoms. They are related to each other, they have relationships, but Mardi is just a collection of individual kingdoms. Some of these kings are considered demigods, some of these kings are higher, some of them are lower. But in the boat, there are people that are also attending to Medea because he's the king. But they also have Braidbeard, which is Moe, Yumi, and Babylanja, and Taji. And they go and they basically just visit different islands, and each island has kind of a different feel to it. And then, so this is kind of where it transitions from that wandering, typey, Amu kind of feel to something that's more philosophical. And there was a lot of discussion between the philosopher Babylanja, kind of the minstrel Yumi, and the historian Mohi or Braidbeard. And they really just experience what the archipelago has to offer while they look for Yella. It turns out that the 3 of the guys that were on the boat with the chief that Taji killed are looking for them too, and they're going to try to kill Taji. And that's a big part of it. What is interesting is there's a lot, especially in the second half, there's a lot about religion, and there's a lot of commentary on different countries. And some of these islands or kingdoms represent different countries at that time. England, France, especially 1848 revolutionary France, the United States, and different religions. Hindus, Christians, Jews, Muslims. There's even some references to Mormonism, or at least that's what some commentator kind of pulled from it. I didn't know. I don't know much about Mormons. But that's kind of what happens. Now, this was a big change for Herman Melville, and it was not very successful. Eventually, a fire in New York destroyed most of the original printings, so they're very hard to find, very expensive. It came out in London first, in England first, but it was based off of the U.S. draft. It was just they wanted to come out there first, so they didn't run into copyright issues, which you've kind of seen with the other reviews I've done of these early works. Typey, I've done a review on his first work, which is really kind of like a travelogue. It was really based off of his experiences, and he viewed it as nonfiction. And then after that, Amu was picked up after Typey, and again, people thought it was fictional, but Herman Melville maintained that it was nonfiction. Well, this was supposed to be right after that, and then changed, but it was really one thing that Melville said was, people took my first 2 nonfiction experiences to be fictional. I want to make this so fictional that people understand that it is. This is how I write fiction. Did not do well. And I thought this was going to be worse than it was. I liked the beginning. I like the end. There was stuff in the middle when kind of the people attending to Medea, Babylanja, Braidbeard, and Yumi kind of argue, and that gets a little tedious because I don't know if they're joking sometimes or if they're serious. It's kind of hard to suss that out when you're reading it, and it's old. But once I found out there was more kind of history, there's more symbolism, and that's because in this edition of the book, there's a lot of extra materials at the back. This, came out to be 700-something pages. There's a lot of materials in the back that talk about the history and inspiration and some of the meaning behind Melville's work, specifically here at Mardi. So I liked it. I give it 4 stars. It really is considered kind of the first real preview of what he's going to do with Moby-Dick, which is a masterpiece. This is the first time he goes in that direction. Now, because Mardi wasn't received very well, his next 2 books after this is book number 3 that he wrote, his next 2 books in the next year are going to be Redburn and White Jacket. I've already read White Jacket, did a review for White Jacket. I haven't done Redburn yet. Those 2 books he did not like. They were really supposed to be more for some commercial appeal so he could make some money. But I think Mardi was that first real taste of him going deeper and deeper and building something that would eventually turn into the masterpiece of Moby-Dick. And Mardi is kind of is credited with being the first hint that he was going to do something great like that. And honestly, it got better reviews than I was expecting. Not 100% great reviews, but more good reviews than bad. And based on the way I'd heard that this was received, I thought it was going to be just destroyed across the board, but it really does seem like it was a little more even-handed. I think Melville really did take the negative criticism to heart more than he did the positive stuff that was said about his book and his writing style. But Mardi, book number 3 of Herman Melville's many books. This is from 1849, 2 years before Moby-Dick came out. And there are going to be 2 books in between Mardi and Moby-Dick. So thanks for being here today. I hope you enjoyed my nerdy rec specs. If a ball hit me right now, my eyes would be a little bit safer. It is comfortable and squishy. And that's it. And I will talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.
Some have died and some are alive, and others sail on the sea with their keys to the cage and the devil to pay. We lay to fiddler's grave.